Broncos country, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I was planning to do a video on Troy Franklin today. Maybe I'll get to that later in this live or tomorrow, but I had some breaking news pop up right now. Of course, I like to talk about breaking football news, never anything like this that's really serious. Yeah, but it's been reported now by 9 News that Josh Reynolds last week was shot early Friday morning at 3 a.m. with a group of his friends. I guess leaving a Denver area strip club, and so we're gonna go through the details of the article that was just put out, as well as talk about what this could mean for the Broncos. But of course, well wishes and prayers for everybody involved that was injured, wounded, including Josh Reynolds, that they can recover and nothing long term comes from this. That's absolutely terrible. But let's go ahead and get into the article here. If you guys wouldn't mind doing me a favor, not smashing the like for Josh Reynolds being injured in this, but just to help David Tuck's Broncos grow, get seen more by Broncos country. But let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Here we go. So documents obtained by 9 News shows that Josh Reynolds and his friends were fired upon after they were followed from the club early Friday morning. Title is Broncos player wounded in shooting after leaving strip club. And here's the photo of Josh Reynolds here. This is put out by Janet Vets. Sorry. Today, published today, just less than an hour ago. Okay. Denver Broncos wide receiver Josh Reynolds and another man were injured in a shooting early Friday morning in Denver after they were followed from a strip club. Shortly after 3 a.m. on October 18th, someone called 911 about a shooting near East Hampton Avenue and South Dahlia Street. The caller reported he was driving a blue Ford Bronco and said he had been shot, according to court documents obtained by 9 News. The document says the call taker noted the caller stopped responding and sounded like they were running. A second 911 caller said he was being followed and that the 2 of his friends had been shot, the court documents say. The caller was running and said he needed an ambulance. The third caller said they had been shot at. Man. The 911 call taker noted that the GPS tracking put all 3 of the callers in the area near South Quebec Street and East Union Avenue. Officers responded there and located the victims. Among them was Renolds, who, according to court documents, was shot twice, once in his left arm and once in the back of his head. Another man was shot in his back. A third victim was wounded by shattered glass, the court documents say. All 3 had scrapes from climbing over a fence, documents say. Just absolutely terrifying. And here is the Ford Bronco. Right here, you can see the bullet holes here. There's like 3 or maybe 4 bullet holes going through the windshield. Absolutely terrifying. Police later located the victim's vehicle on southbound Interstate 25 near Bellevue Avenue. It had numerous bullet defects in the back driver's side and front windshield. 2 fired cartridge casings were found behind the vehicle along I-25. Prior to the shooting, the victims reported they were at Shotgun Willie's. Oh, come on, man. This is where John Morant was at last year, by the way. Nothing good happens at Shotgun Willie's, a strip club in Glendale, but left around 2:45 a.m. They reported, according to court documents, there were no problems in the club. When they left, 2 drivers began following them in vehicles and shots were fired, the court documents say. They reported to police that the suspects continued to follow them as they got onto the highway. Once there, they said the vehicle would no longer drive and they ran from the vehicle. Terrifying. On Wednesday, Denver police announced they arrested 2 men in the case, Burr Charlesworth and Luis Mendoza. According to the court documents, a video from the strip club shows Mendoza entering the club just after midnight. The documents say Mendoza did not engage with the entertainers, but instead watched the victims. As they left, Mendoza followed them out, the documents say. Man, that's creepy. That is creepy stuff. Several other vehicles were seen pulling into the lot, and people inside them appeared to be waiting for the victim to leave. So it sounds like, man, this was a setup. Sounds like this wasn't just something where they got into an argument at the club. It sounds like this was planned, premeditated. 3 vehicles were seen following the victims, the documents show. In most of the videos reviewed by investigators, Mendoza's vehicle was directly behind the victims. Following his arrest, Charlesworth told investigators he was helping a friend who asked him to follow the victims due to a prior conflict. Idiots. He denied he ever shot at the victims and said the gunfire came from other vehicles. He refused to describe those vehicles according to the court documents. Reynolds is currently on injured reserve to a broken finger and did not travel to New Orleans with the Broncos for their game last Thursday. And that's where the article leaves off. And I would imagine this is probably going to extend his time on IR. And again, hopefully he is okay along with the other victims, that there's not anything permanent coming from these wounds. Incredibly scary. Can't imagine this. This is absolutely insane. And again, yeah, sounds like it was premeditated. Like, these guys were coming to hunt him down, and his friend. So, have they released the mug shots? No, this is just some other creepy stuff going on. But that is the article. Those are the details that we have right now. Shot in the left arm, and once in the back of his head. Terrifying. So hopefully Josh Reynolds is okay. It's crazy to me that people can be shot in the head and just be okay. My first instinct is to think that, okay, if that's all the details we know, if he's having serious brain damage or was in the ICU, maybe we would have already known about that, not like have this news break a week later, right? So again, just prayers, thoughts to Josh Reynolds and his family. You hate to see any of this BS just go on. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, yeah. And Brandon, yeah, you're bringing up a great point here. This is so crazy. Same thing happened with Darren Williams. Glad he is alive. Yeah. So this was a long time ago. Some of you guys might remember this on New Year's Eve, back when, what was this, 2007, 2008? Something around then, because I think Jake Plummer was still the quarterback. But yeah, Darren Williams, our draft pick from Oklahoma State. I couldn't remember if this was his rookie year or second year. But he was starting opposite of Champ Bailey. I remember he had a pick 6 against the Chargers. Went to that game on Sunday night, even though we blew that. But yeah, he was shot and killed late at night. Seemed to be like some sort of altercation. If I remember the report correctly, there was an altercation at the club, and then it got played out, got even worse once they all left. Their whole vehicle was shot up. Darren Williams was killed. I believe Kenyon Martin was in that vehicle. Brandon Marshall was also in that vehicle. Just absolutely tragic, horrifying, and it's crazy. And saddening to see that this is happening again. So stop going to Shotgun Willies, everybody. Stop going to Shotgun Willies. Stop going to Shotgun Willies. But yeah, thank God he is okay. Yeah, again, I would imagine that if there was long-term damage and permanent wounds to Josh Reynolds, we would have found out about that already, right? At least that's my hope. We'll still wait to see what other details we got, but getting shot in the head and the left arm, I do wonder if his season is over. To kind of bring it back to football, again, I just hope he's going to be okay. Getting on the football field is definitely should not be his priority right now. It just needs to be making sure that he's going to be okay and live, a comfortable life, right? All of those things. That is much more important than getting on the football field. But from a Broncos perspective, this is next man up stuff. He was already on IR. Again, I imagine that this continues to increase his time on IR, and we're going to have to see this play out. I know you can't keep adults from, and everybody has the right to determine how or when they want to spend their time, right? Like everybody can, but it's just unfortunate, man, that there's these sayings that, nothing good happens past 12 a.m. or something like that. And yeah, it just sucks to see, man. It sucks to see. And but I'm just glad that he's okay. But yeah, we're gonna need our young guys to step up, calling on Troy Franklin to continue to develop. Devon Vele, I think we saw some good things out of him last week. Marvin Mims, it would be great if he could take a step. But I wanted to share this here from, maybe it was Zach Stevens of DNVR here really quick. Wait, what? Okay, here we go. I got an update for you guys. We will peruse the Twitterverse. So this is Zach Stevens. Just saw this right now. Despite being shot in the back of the head and arm last Friday, Josh Reynolds received treatment for only minor injuries, per the Broncos. Glad he's okay after a very scary situation. Yeah, wow. I mean, this sounds like a miracle type situation. How can you get shot in the back of the head and just have minor injuries? So, wow. So maybe his season isn't done. Jake Goats here. If you're not following him, make sure to do that. The fact this man got shot 6 days ago and is back in the facility is crazy. Also, how the Broncos were able to keep this confidential until now is also crazy. Yes, it is. Yeah, Bryce, Mile High Mims. So if Josh Reynolds was shot on October 18th, like the details say, then why are we just hearing about it now? And how the F is he's at practice working on the side already? Right? And Tyler Plum is saying the same thing. This is crazy how the Broncos kept this from coming out last week. Cameron Parker, shooters got to get locked up. Still hope Josh Reynolds is okay and recovering. How he practiced on the side yesterday is insane. Wow. I didn't even realize he practiced yesterday. Talk about a story that was kept quiet. Absolutely. Respect my coach coming out here, Josh Reynolds, when he's activated off IR. That's right. Wasn't he running out to the 50 Cent song, Brian Robinson, that is? Wow. Just crazy. But anyways, guys, I wanted to share this other bookmark here. Just give me a second. Find it. Yeah, check this out. Zach Stevens. Troy Franklin had a 100% separation rate against the Saints. That was the best in the NFL. That means Troy got open and beat the defensive coverage on every single route he ran. Maybe we'll take a look at this tomorrow, as a fun Friday video. I'll go through all of his routes, and just so, yeah, we can take a look at it. But again, guys, I've been very impressed with the development of Troy Franklin. Again, for somebody who was just getting shit on totally throughout training camp by all the media and talking about, remember, there were media outlets, professional people saying, I wonder if Troy Franklin gets cut, which that was just ridiculous in my mind because he was being coached hard. Nah, he was being coached hard because of the potential that he has, right? And it's nice to see him continuing to make strides, more and more snaps each week. It's nice that he has that built-in chemistry with Bo, but this is something, a 100% separation rate. That's something purely in his control. And it's great to see him doing that. And the coach is putting him in a spot to succeed as well. This is a really nice, bright spot. But I still want the Broncos to go get an alpha in the wide receiver, or just the receiving game in general. David Njoku, please. Yeah, so this is just absolutely insane. I hope Josh is okay, but it's on another note, it's great to see, Troy Franklin recognized in that way. So Jimmy Sauber, happy birthday. Praying for Josh Reynolds on my birthday too. Damn, man. Well, thankfully, Josh Reynolds is going to be okay. Crazy that he was limited this week. Absolutely insane. Yeah, just reading through that whole article, it's hard to imagine, man. Exactly the fear. Car breaking down on the highway, car stopping on the highway, having to get out and run. Are you kidding me? And did this happen the night of the Saints game? I think it did. So the Saints game was last Thursday night. This was happening, Friday morning at 3 a.m. Crazy. But yes, prayers for Josh Reynolds. Hope he's okay. Jimmy, happy birthday. Hope the Broncos give you a belated birthday present. Taking care of the Panthers this week. Looks like we got Bryce Young going to be the starter because Andy Dalton was in a serious car accident. Glad he's okay and his family. Praying for his recovery and everybody involved as well. And this is a game where the Broncos cannot look ahead. They need to take care of business. This cannot be a trap game. We absolutely need to win this game in order to have a shot at the playoffs. That's how I feel about it because our schedule gets more difficult moving forward. So let's take care of business. I'll be back with a video later tomorrow. We'll go over all this Josh Reynolds route separation stuff. We'll take a look at it from the Saints game, how he looked on all of his routes. So y'all be sure to please like, comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 2,000, guys. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And as always, go Broncos.